Let's do it live. F it. Sorry, Gorilla. Couldn't resist. Anyway, welcome, everyone. Today, of course, is Wednesday. It is our normal midweek hump day, whatever the beep you want to call it. This is our final two reviews for episodes for The Greatest American Hero. These are episodes 13 and 14 of season 3. The very official last one came in April of 1983. I'll mention the date again on that. And then the pilot, which came, for me, in my honest opinion, way too late. 3 years later, in 1986, according to background information from IMDb, whatever's in there, it was going to be called The Greatest American Heroine. And it was supposed to feature a woman, and I'll give you the name of the actress, and we will do a mini bio on her as well today, who was going to play the role that William Catt, playing Ralph, originally developed. And you folks remember when we started this, he was known as Ralph Hinckley. Then he had to change it because there was a Hinckley that tried to, take out Ronald Reagan, which is really stupid, way back when. And you all know that. But anyway, so, and then, you still brought back, Robert Culp, who played, the federal agent Bill, Bill Maxwell. And then you brought in Connie Selica one more time because she is married in the series, was married in the series to Ralph, Pam, so then Pam became Pam Hinckley and so on and so forth. So very cool. And then we'll mention, like I said, the actress that tried to resume the role, but in a female sort of way. And because of low viewership, it was a really bad time that when they picked it. It was on NBC. Yeah, severe ratings didn't go well. People just were tired of it. They said, "Oh, come on, there's a lot." But little did they know, series like Supergirl, with Melissa Benoist and the others, all provided the groundwork for what this series pilot did. So, in an inadvertent way, it paved the way for other female, you know, superheroine type of shows and movies. Yeah. So it contributed its little portion to ladies who wanted to grow up to be superheroes. Yeah. So very cool. I like that concept. Now, both episodes didn't do very well. And I have to say, you know me, I don't like to give, on any of these series, I really don't like to give less than a C. But unfortunately, on this, the pilot one, I had to give a C minus. But I did give a straight up C. So my rating was, 3 out of 5 stars for the last official episode of episode 13, Vanity Says the Preacher, and then the other one, I decided to give a C minus. So it's more like about a 2 point. I'll say a 2.7 out of 5. That's what I stars. Yeah, it didn't do well at all. I appreciate the effort. I like at that time, NBC, like I said, showed it, and I admire their commitment to try to create something like that, but just people weren't ready for it. And they just said, nah, yeah. So, yeah, disappointing. But anyway, as you all folks know, a week from today, on March 19th, as long as I'm checking my calendar correctly. Wow. Yeah, I got to stare right at it. So if you see me go stare off, that's just I'm looking at the calendar. So, yes, next week at this same time at 1 p.m., we begin what all of you asked for, and that's why I'm so excited. Get Smart. And we are doing starting at the very beginning, and we'll even include those 6 episodes that, later on from Fox that didn't last very long, but it was the new Get Smart. It had Andy Dick, right? That's his real name. You two overlords, you know this, so I'm not making that up. but Andy Dick was in it, along again with Don Adams and Barbara Feldon, and they had that other lady, and we'll mention her later on, the blonde bimbo, actress who tried to help out Andy's character in it, because that was Get Smart. That was you know, Agent 86 of Control, Maxwell Smart, and then, 99 became Mrs. Smart, and they had a child, and fortunately or unfortunately, it was Andy's character, right? So, crazy. That's crazy. The one thing we won't do, though, is the reboot film, which featured Steve Carell. I don't feel it's appropriate. Now, it's a decent film. Don't get me wrong. And it does bring back some of the tropes. And I got to say, Alan Arkin as Chief, brilliant. Loved it. But, and Dwayne The Rock Johnson, of course. But I mean, it's just, when I decided to start doing these weekly webcams and these series, certain ones I looked at and I said, okay, should I do the reboot films later on when I get to this point where I finish with the whole thing? Well, fortunately for us, TGAH has this pilot episode as its official final episode of the entire series, unofficially. Um, but, the A team that I do now, there's that reboot that had Liam Neeson and all those guys. I'm not doing that. No, no. There's personal reasons. I won't really say what they are, but I just won't do it. I just won't do it. Red Dwarf has had a few um, in Britain. They've had a few what they call like a TV or kind of extended. They've had smeg ups, things like that. That's fine. I may mention them from time to time, but I won't really go into their if there's a TV type movie or something they have of it. I don't do that. I just stick with the basic series. I stick with the whole thing. Same thing for TOS. Yes, we'll get to Turnabout Intruder, and eventually, where I go from there is going to be the animated series. I'm definitely going to talk about those 22 episodes. Excuse me. And then what I plan on doing is, instead of going onward to, well, here's the plan. After we finish TOS, we're going to go to TAS. I'm following sort of a chronological time frame here. We're going to go to um, I'm thinking, sorry. Okay, so we're going to go to James Cawley's Star Trek New Voyages, and we'll do it. And that is technically considered a season 4 of TOS. And then we go into Vic Minona's 11 episodes, which is Star Trek Continues, and that officially finishes TOS. And so, because it goes right to, the final episode, To Boldly Go, part 2, that goes right to the motion picture. So before I get to the motion picture later on, just in a quick review, I want to go and start where it should have started in the beginning, which was Enterprise, because that came later with Scott Bakula. So I want to go into that after I finish Continues. Then I'll go into TNG, Deep Space Nine, um, and Voyager. Yeah. So yeah, I cover all those. Gorilla's Censored Thoughts. Hello, sir. He's first in the box today. Welcome, welcome. Kapla, kapla. Only day 3 in a row of being in HR, human resources. Wow, neat. Well, Gorilla. Well, I hope things are going well for you. I am looking forward to your cigar lounge if you do decide to do one tonight. That should be a lot of fun. Um, and then, of course, uh, by the way, Gorilla, just to remind you that the next episode up for season 4 of The Waltons is The Nurse, where Mary Ellen wants to be a nurse. And she has these, takes classes, but she's not doing so well, and stuff. So that should be good. Yeah. And I'm going to watch the Judy Norton version of the episode, watch behind the scenes, all that stuff. The other thing I want to mention too to you, Gorilla, also, and then this actually just goes to all of our select panel that we use for the fan films, Star Trek and Star Wars. As you know, we're doing the Star Wars fan film known as Vader, Shards of the Past, Part 1, which was done by a fan film which was created by Star Wars Theory, who has his own YouTube channel. Lots of people there. Make sure you subscribe to him. He's trying to finish Part 2 and then Part 3. He hasn't got to that yet. He's been trying. No lack of trying, but he's been trying. And I think he's on the way to finishing Part 2. I hope he does. Where, Vader runs into Mace Windu, a ghost from the past, but he's still alive. And by the way, the panelists that I know that usually help me, Dan and so forth, guys, I'll get a copy out to you by tomorrow. I'm sorry, today is just a crazy day. Suzanne is out again. She has to undergo a form of MRI, I think, and she's picking up a few items. And I'm here just, I'm sorry, Larry. I'm just, I'm too tired nowadays, and I'm trying. I am doing the best I can to get out, walk about, do whatever. I did a lot of walking this morning because, um, to myself here in the room, just in the apartment where I'm just, we're in a small space, so I just kind of walk around and do all that stuff. So, but anyway, let's go ahead and get to these last two episodes of the entire series. And of course, like I said, the first one is called Vanity Says the Preacher. According to the IMDb background information, this came out Thursday, April 21st, 1983. So I think at that time it was right around Easter time, and it was done as an Easter special, as far as I know. Okay, and let's go ahead and take a look at that. And of course, there's been only 72 people that have watched it. Gave it a 7.3 out of 10. So that's fine. I gave it a C. Yeah, 3 out of 5 stars for me. Bill accepts an invitation to be honored as Man of the Year by a Latin American country where years before he was instrumental in helping them establish a democratic government. And of course, being this was the final episode officially of the series, before they came out with the pilot, Robert Culp himself directed the episode. So that was very cool. He also wrote it, and Stephen J. Cannell helped him. And of course, the usual cast of characters: William Catt, Robert Culp, Connie Selica. Let's see. None of the kids came back. That was kind of disappointing. Michael Pare and, Faye Grant, they didn't come back. That was kind of disappointing. Let's see. And we will take a look at one person. Yeah, just one. Isela Vega. She played Serena Del Vera. Yeah, cool. Yeah, so we'll take a look at her after this description. Okay, so let's take a look at trivia. All right. Kate. Okay. I hate when pop-ups come in. Okay. Jason and Joseph Culp co-star. They are sons of series star Robert Culp. Oh, very cool. This was the last time that Robert Culp directed, and it's the very last show of the series, officially. Okay. So there are no goofs. It was just very quick episode. No goofs, no crazy credits. Let's see. The soundtrack. Yeah, the Believe It or Not theme song. And let's see if there's any filming and production. No. Okay. So the quotes. We'll get right to that. Okay, and there's just one. So this is between Pam Davidson Hinckley, Bill Maxwell, and Ralph Hinckley. Pam says, "Oh my God, Bill, that's really you. You did it. Do you have to sound so surprised? You weren't that bad looking, Bill. What happened? Oh, keep the jokes coming, kiddo. I love them, but that's me and I did it." Oh, that's so cool. Yeah, tell you, that's very quick. Okay. All right, let's take a look at the actress. She played Serena Del Vera, and her name was Isela Vega, if I can pronounce it correctly in the Spanish. Hey, stop that. Okay, here we go. We can also look at another gentleman here, too. I'll add him in as well. Julio Medina. He played Dr. Romero in this episode. And we'll quickly see if Joseph and Jason are still around, his sons. So, yeah, we'll take a look at that, too. Okay, so let's go here. Okay, unfortunately, we did lose Isela Vega back in 2021. Hold on, I gotta stop something here. Okay, Isela Vega was born in Hermosillo, Sonora, Mexico, on November 5th, 1939. She died March 9th, 2021, at the age of 81, so she had a good long life. The young beauty was named Princess of the 1957 Carnival in Hermosillo and parlayed that into work as a model. She also had some success as a singer before turning to acting. Her composition, Benny's Song, was used in Bring Me the Head of Alfredo Garcia from 1974 movie, which features her singing. She made her film debut in the Pedro Armendariz movie Verano Violento in 1960, from her beginning in small roles in Mexican films. Very cool. Okay, so in order of release, uh, she played the role of Elita in Bring Me the Head of Alfredo Garcia from 1974. In 1977, she was in a movie called The Black Widow, where she played Matea Gutierrez. Gutierrez. There we go. I love, you know, slurring those R's. It's very cool. Then in 1986, she was in a movie called Lovers of the Lord of the Night. And she played two roles, Amparo and Nana, and that, yeah, 86. And then in 1999, she's known for a movie called Herod's Law, where she played Doña Lupe. Yeah, at the turn of the century there. So very cool. And she did do well, she did one in post production a couple years ago, but because this was during the dreaded seed disease, it was put into pre production, and it's called Lost in Mexico, and she plays the role of Lola. And then the last thing she did before she passed, um, A House of Flowers, was a TV series where she played Victoria Aguirre, and she was in 9 episodes of that from 2019 to 2020. Very cool. All right, let's also take a look then at the next person we mentioned, Julio Medina, who plays Dr. Romero. Okay. Uh, oh, that's really terrible. Okay, so he was an actor. He did pass last year in 2024. He was born January 16th, 1933, and he died just last November 23rd, just before Thanksgiving of 2024. He was 91 years old, so he had a good long life. Um, Julio Medina was born in Chiquinquira, Chiquinquira, Colombia. Don't let me pronounce that one more time. He was an actor known for Las Aguas Mansas in 1994. He did do Dallas. No, he didn't do Dallas the Woman. He was in Dallas in 1978 series, a movie called Dallas. And Diego Rivera, I Paint What I See in 1992. And he did win one award. He was the 1995 winner for the Colombian Television Award in Cartagena Film Festival. He was the best leading actor, the Mejor Actor Principal for Las Aguas Mansas. Very cool. Hey, even their awards are important down there in South America. All right. So let's see. In order of appearance, he was an actor in the movie El Tesoro de Atahualpa in 1968. In 1982 to 86, okay, it was the Dallas. Okay, they misinformed me. It looked like it said 1978, and it does, but that's wrong. Thanks a lot, IMDb. No. In the TV series from 1982 to 1986, he was in 4 episodes. Two of the roles he played was Henry Figueroa and Emerald Minddigger. Oh, nice. In 1992, the Diego Rivera I Paint What I See movie, he was Diego Rivera. And in Las Aguas Mansas, which was a TV series, for 3 episodes in 1994, he played a character named Martin Acevedo. Oh, no, very nice. And the last thing he worked on before he passed In 2018, he did 3 episodes of a TV series in Mexico called Cincenos C.I. Paraíso. He played Don Manuel. All right, cool. You know, every once in a while, I do appreciate being able to pronounce, thank you, Lord, some Spanish phrases and towns and things like that. So, Julio Medina. Like, yeah, he was a funky cold Medina after 2024. See how I threw that in? All right, cool. Let's go back to the cast here, and we'll just briefly see. We won't go into the bios of Joseph and Jason, but we'll see if Robert Culp's kids. But we'll see if they're still working. In this episode, Joseph played Roberto Del Vera, or a young General Del Vera, and Jason played Francisco Del Vera. Oh, that's cute. All right. Joseph Culp is an actor, producer, and writer. He is still performing, and he was born January 9th, 1963. Oh, wow. So he just turned the ripe old age of 62. Well, happy post birthday there, Joseph Culp. And we'll look at your brother, Jason. All right. And Jason is the older brother by a couple years. He was born January 15th, 1961. So happy post birthday to you, Jason, which makes him the ripe old age of 64. When I'm 64. Woo! Sorry, Paul. All right. So, yeah. So that was Vanity Says the Preacher from 1983. Okay. Let's see if we got anybody else here in the chat before we continue with the pilot episode. And Charlotte Nightstar, the werewolf. Ooh, hello, Miss Charlotte. Hi. Good morning and have a great day, Nerdaholic Crusaders. Well, Miss Charlotte, I'm so blessed to see you. And welcome. Suzanne and I love you very much, and your whole family too. So great to see you, Miss Charlotte. Ooh. Yes, I love working with Charlotte as a co-host for her podcast and for her watch parties that she does every other weekend on Saturdays and Sundays at 4:05 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That is 1:05 p.m. in her Pacific Standard Time. She lives in the Washington State area, so she is very well known on YouTube. Well, I think she's pretty well known. She's very multi-talented. Plays a few instruments. She does AI video songs like Gorilla's Censored Thoughts does, and Gorilla, you do them very well. And Charlotte is learning, and she's doing very well too. And she's got some very good songs there. But she's also a singer and songwriter in her own right in real life. Well, what do you expect from someone from Washington State? Seattle brought us Hart, who's in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Yay! I'm so happy. And in Nancy Wilson. Pearl Jam, all these wonderful groups that came out of Seattle. Yeah, fantastic. But I'm not saying that Charlotte's in Seattle. Oh, no. I will never tell you where she's at. She'll have to tell you herself. Yeah. We keep that a secret. A secret, huh? Yes, definitely. Well, great to see you, Charlotte. You too, Gorilla. And we got 2 likes. Yay. Very cool. All right, let's get to the final episode, which is The Greatest American Heroine. No, not the drug. One last time, it's spelled Heroine. And it came out in 1986. And 144 people have seen it, a 5.8 out of 10. Yeah, I have to say for me, this is a C minus. I won't give it a D because it really didn't really deserve a D. It was more of a C minus. Yeah. Okay. Like I said, I gave it about a 2 point. Yeah, so like a 5.8 out of 10. I gave mine about a 2.8 out of 5. Pretty close. The director. Okay, so the aliens tell Ralph to find a suitable replacement for himself when his secret identity is revealed to the world. Much to Bill's disgust, he selects a woman to be his successor. The director of this pilot episode was Tony Mordente. So we'll take a look at his brief life. We'll also look at the lady who tried to fill the role. The writers finally were Stephen J. Cannell And When You're in Hollywood, ask for Babs, Babs Grayhosky. And of course, it brought back William Catt, Robert Culp, Connie Selica, and the lady who was going to play the superheroine was going to be Mary Ellen Stewart. And she played the role of Holly Hathaway. So we will look at her, and then we'll look at the director, Tony Mordente. Also, they did some previous episode information. So they brought back briefly, rest in peace, Clayton Moore, who was an arm wrestler, because he was one of the original Lone Rangers, and he died eventually. Wayne Grace, John Forker, Branscombe Richmond, Jeffrey Markle, Jerry Potter, John Az, Maya Stark. I'm just naming some of the people that were in it. Okay, so some of the actors and actresses. So if I missed one of your favorites from that pilot episode, please let me know. Okay. All right, let's take a look at the trivia. Okay, according to William Catt, the original concept for this pilot was for NBC to revive the series with himself back in the role of Ralph Hinckley for another season. But due to his steady work on Perry Mason, the reboot, he declined the offer. Thus, the Greatest American Heroine concept was created and ultimately rejected. Brandon Tartikoff felt that ABC had made a terrible mistake in canceling the series and decided NBC should recreate it with a female protagonist. This pilot was not picked up, but was added to the syndication rerun package. Sarah tells Bill that he looks about 50. Bill looks indignant, but Robert Culp was 55 at the time. According to Mary Ellen Stewart, Robert Culp had told her that if the pilot had gone to series, he would have had her re-record the original series theme song, believe it or not. Yes, Mary Ellen Stewart was a singer as well as an actress. So yeah, she could have just redone it, taken over from Joey Scarberry's position and redone the song. The arm wrestler was played for one of his last roles by Clayton Moore, who is most famous for his role as the title character of the Lone Ranger. He was temporarily replaced in the role by John Hart, who Ralph worked with as the Lone Ranger in that previous episode I mentioned, My Heroes Have Always Been Cowboys, in 1981. So they did bring back the original Clayton Moore, at least for this episode. That's what saved it, I think, from being a D to about a C minus. Yeah, because I like seeing Clayton Moore. All right, let's look at the goofs here. There is, let's see, there's only a couple. Plot hole. Ralph and Pamela are late to meet with Bill, claiming it was hard to get out of the driveway because of all the press. But since Ralph has already turned over the suit, the press should have immediately forgotten about all of that. There is a boom mic visible. When Ralph and Bill are looking at the computer for the next wearer of the suit, the camera pans to the right and the boom mic shadow is visible on the wall. And then there are two character errors. When Holly is asked if she has kids, she says no, they aren't hers, these are foster kids, but Sarah is listed in the credits as Sarah Holloway. And the wrestler is incorrectly identified as the actor's name, Clayton Moore. He should have been identified by his character name in it, but that's okay. Alrighty. Okay, and let's see. Let's look at the quotes. Okay. And there's a few. Cool. All right. So I don't mind doing these. Okay, so this first interplay is between the alien, played by John Z, Ralph, Pam. Let's see, is Bill in this? No. So it's Ralph and Pam, and and the alien. Okay. Mr. Hinckley, we saw you on the Dick Cavett show. Dick Cavett, huh? I didn't know you could get that stuff up here. That's great. What am I saying? I mean, of course they get that stuff up here. You probably have. You probably have cable up here too, don't you? You are a celebrity now, Mr. Hinckley. You and the suit are known to the world. This situation will not work. We must make the world forget. You can make the whole world forget they ever knew about Ralph and the suit? All we have to do is give the suit to someone else. Give the suit to someone else? You mean I have to resign? I can't believe it. It's over. All those things I used to take for granted, all gone. Well, it was good while it lasted. You'll always have your memories, or will he? What about me? I mean, I put up with a lot of stuff. I deserve to remember too. You may remember also, Mrs. Hinckley. What about Bill? Bill Maxwell. You think it important that Mr. Maxwell remember this? No. What if we give him the suit? Now wait a minute. Bill's already wired up on this whole thing. I mean, he gets carried away once in a while, but deep down inside, he's a pretty good guy. But Mr. Hinckley, the owner of this suit must be more than a pretty good guy. Well, I remember when Ralph was chosen, it was because you guys were looking for someone with strong moral character, a healthy idealism, altruistic nature, and true integrity, right? Both of them say together, not Bill. And then Ralph to the alien says, excuse me, about the instruction book? We've given you two already, Mr. Hinckley. Surely you haven't lost it again. Oh, no, no, of course not. But because we have no more to give. Then Bill says, it was going to be a very extensive search because old Ralph couldn't pick his trusted friend Maxwell, who was obviously best suited for the job and to receive El Pseudo. No, no, he had to pick somebody new. And then Ralph and Pam, honey, I know how you feel. I wasn't exactly thrilled when I realized the secret was out, but it is, Pamela. And we're going to have to cope with it. We can't change who we are. I realize that, Ralph, but this celebrity status doesn't become you. It's turned you into another guy. And I want my old Ralph Hinckley back. I want him back because before things get totally out of hand and our lives fall apart. Then Holly Hathaway, Ralph, you were right. This cape is so cumbersome, and I'm not so sure about these little shoes. They're so blah. Maybe we could go with a nice pump? Oh, Holly, I think you'd better forget redesigning the suit. I think the green guys are kind of locked into this model. And then Bill and Pam and Holly and Ralph, Bill says, Counselor, you're a real trooper, kid. The best. Well, I did the best I could. Friendship is so beautiful. Is she going to do this a lot? Probably not. Tell you what, why don't the two of you get together and learn some things about each other? I'm sure you're going to find this is a great matchup. We're going to make a terrific team. I'm going to make you really proud that you know. And there's still a play Ralph and Pam, so they want to do the Ralph Hinckley story, but they don't want to do it realistically. Well, why should they, Ralph? There's nothing realistic about any of this. What are you talking about? Well, look at yourself, Ralph. Look at our lives. This is a joke. Oh, it was bad enough when we just had the suit to contend with. Now we have the suit and we have your publicity tour. Not to mention all the people who are calling and writing for special favors. This has got to stop. Now that's probably Marty. What are you doing? This is my car, Ralph. If I wanted a phone in it, I would have put it in myself. And then there's this little boy, Timothy. He says, this is fun. It's okay. But personally, I prefer paintbrushes. What are paintbrushes? Oh, Timothy, you're still so young. And then Holly says, fold the runway. I'm coming in. And Bill says, well, I didn't know that you had any kids. Oh, well, Sarah, she's not really mine. I'm her foster parent. Oh, it's hard to believe that somebody would just throw a child like her out, isn't it? Yeah, got me stumped. Okay, welcome to Trouble with Maxwell. Failure to answer the question gets you an all expenses paid vacation at the Fed pen of your choice, courtesy of that superpower to the south. FBI? A bartender. FBI. FBI. Holly. And Ralph and Pam. Marty, come on, man. Travolta? He's not even blonde. No, we need someone younger, more carefree looking, more spontaneous, more egotistical. Alrighty. And let's see, here's the next one. And it's Ralph and Bill and Pam. Yeah, okay. Bill, I passed it on. The suit to somebody else without even asking, without running it by me, without checking. How could you do that to me, kid? It's right, Bill. I know it is. Now, the green guy said that when I found the right person, I would know it. And I know it, Bill. She's the right person, Bill. Isn't she the right person? Yeah, well, she may be the right person for him, but what about she? What did I tell you? Hang tough, hun. Ralph, you did it to me, didn't you? He did it, didn't he? You picked a skirt. He picked a woman. No, that's bad enough. You wouldn't fight for your own pal Maxwell to get the suit. That's hard enough to swallow. Now you got me paired up with Nancy Drew. Holly Hathaway. Who? Holly. Who cares? Bill, give her a chance. I already told her all about you. But he lied, so you're safe. Bill, she's got everything. Strong moral character, integrity. She's altruistic, warm, she's kind. She loves children and pets. She loves helping people. Yeah, you left out brave, clean, and reverent. Sounds like Miss America. And then Sarah, the adopted of Holly, says, You must be Mr. Maxwell. My name is Sarah. I live here. Can I get you something to drink? Well, a stiff scotch wouldn't be bad. We don't encourage alcohol in our home, Mr. Maxwell. If you need scotch to help you through a situation, then you may have the beginnings of a serious social problem. How old are you? Almost 7. How about you? None of your business. You look about 50. Ever have a facelift? No, I never have. How about you? I'm too young. Oh. Do you touch up your hair yourself or have it done? I bet you got some chores to do somewhere or something, don't you? Are you trying to get rid of me? Yeah. You're sort of an uptight kind of guy, aren't you, Mr. Maxwell? I'm not applying for a job here, kiddo. I can do without the interview, okay? I'm just trying to get to know you. You ought to hear the questions I ask the guys Holly dates. And then the first lines that Bill Maxwell says is, This is Special Agent Bill Maxwell, FBI, audio report May 15th, 1986. And finally, between Ralph and Bill, Oh, Holly, you have to be careful with your strength when you're wearing the suit. Bill, remember the time I broke your hand when I went to shake it? Which time? Oh, that's so cool. Okay. So that is. Oh, crazy credits. Here we go. All right. When the episode title is shown, first the title is displayed as the greatest American hero. Then the I, N, and E letters are added one at a time, and each one is accompanied by one of the NBC chimes. Oh, very cool. Alrighty. And let's see. Now, um, besides the Believe It or Not Joey Scarberry intro, they did allow a song by Whitney Houston uh, to be performed on the episode called The Greatest Love of All. That's music by Michael Masser and the lyrics by Linda Creed and performed by Whitney Houston. Yeah, that was very cool. They used an original song. Okay. That's it. There's no filming or production information so far. So, all right, let's go over the cast and crew. We'll take a look at Mary Ellen Stewart, who played Holly Hathaway. Okay, and according to this information, she is still alive. She was born on October 4th, 1961, in Little Rock, Arkansas. So that makes her 63 years old. She is an actress known for As the World Turns from 1956, The Greatest American Heroine, of course, and a chorus line. She in 1985. She has been married to Mark Lewis since February 28th, 1987. They have one child. Okay, so after, let's see here. Okay, so in the movie A Chorus Line, she was a dancer in 1985. She did the one episode there in 1986. In 1989 to 1992, for 68 episodes, she was on the soap opera As the World Turns, and she played Franny Hughes, or Frances Franny Hughes. That's her full name. Wow, that's pretty cool. And then finally, in 1993, she's known for a TV series called Renegade. She played Bonnie Treadwell, and she did one episode of that. And I believe she's semi-retired after that because that was her last thing she did in 1993. So, yeah. She also worked on Love and War. These are TV series. She worked on Love and War, As the World Turns, for, like I mentioned, Guiding Light. And she was in One Life to Live way back in 1995. She played Madison Green. Cool. So, yeah. She's a soap opera diva. Yeah. Okay. cool. But I'm glad she's still alive. All right. And let's see. Let's go to the director, Tony Mordente, and we'll finish today. All right. So, unfortunately, uh, Tony, who was a director, a producer, he also worked on additional crew. Unfortunately, he did pass away last year, 2024. He was born December 3rd, 1935, and he died June 11th of last year at the age of 88. So, a good life for Tony Mordente. He was born in Brooklyn, New York City. He was a director and producer known for West Side Story in 1961, the Hardcastle and McCormick TV series in 1983, and of course, directing that one episode. He was married to uh, Jean G. Fraser, a relative of my wife, Suzanne. Cool. Sandra C. Rivera and Cheetah Rivera. Oh, Cheetah Rivera from West Side Story, yeah. And he died in Henderson, Nevada, where a friend of mine is, Danny. Oh, wow. That's crazy. Let's see. So he worked on additional crew in West Side Story. He was on the TV series Quincy Medical Examiner, which featured Jack Klugman. He directed 2 of those episodes in 1979. He directed 16 episodes of the Hardcastle McCormick TV series, and then he got to do that special Greatest American Hero, which became Greatest American Heroine in 1986. The last thing he worked on was 23 episodes of the Stephen Collins series Seventh Heaven, back from 97 to 2003. He was the director of 33 episodes of that wonderful TV series. So very cool. And rest in peace, Tony Mordente. All right, cool. So, yeah. And Tim, hey, welcome, Tim. Welcome. FKHC 2005. Where are the white women at? I don't know, Tim. He says Hardcastle McCormick. That's going back. Oh, yeah. That's going back a lot. But it was a good series. I liked it. Yeah, I thought it was cool. Yeah. I'm that old. Come on. I'm turning 60 in less than 6 months. Yeah. So there you go. I'm old enough to remember a lot of TV series. I watched a lot of TV. Fortunately or unfortunately. Look, if I didn't watch a lot of TV, I wouldn't be doing pop culture like this. This is very cool. Yes. And in 9 years from now, you'll be 69. Absolutely. I'm going to do a special. If I'm still alive, then, Tim, I'm going to do a special. I am 69. Woo. Take that, Paul McCartney. Or Fall. He's not really alive, He's dead. It's a third clone. Secrets. Anyway, so I am proud to say that we have finished doing the reviews for The Greatest American Hero. It was ahead of its time. It really was. Done really well. Mike Post Carpenter doing the music, you know, and Stephen J. Cannell and Frank Lupo did a great job with the series. I'm really proud to be able to give to you folks the entire rundown, just reviews of every single episode, including that special pilot that came out in '86. Unfortunately, it didn't take off. I wish it had. But anyway, we got other stuff. Supergirl was great series. From the C and the WB and CNW and whatever. So the CW, yeah. So I mean, good stuff there. And yep, call it. Life can be fine if we both 69. Yes, as long as Suzanne and I reach 69 together. Amen, brother. I totally agree with you. Yes, very cool. Okay, so before we finish today, if you have any questions for me about the series, anything else I might have missed or something I might have forgot, please mention it there in the comments. As always, make sure you hit like for this episode, as 3 people have already done for this weekly webcam series. Make sure you also share the channel, subscribe to the channel, Guess what? We are at 245 subs. Family community members, we call them, not just subs. If we get 5 more, we will do a special 250 subscribers um, live stream. It'll be a surprise, so I'm not even going to tell you the day or time. But as soon as we reach that 250, so get us some more subs there, Tim, and Charlotte, and Gorilla, if you can, so we can do that special stream. I'll only mention it to you guys because I'm going to have you as part of the panel. Um, you know, some of our close friends, but I will only tell them when I plan to do it. So it will be a complete surprise. I'm looking forward to that. If we can get to 250, we'll definitely do it. So, all right. So let's see. Tomorrow, of course, we're doing episodes 13 and 14 of season 3 of the A Team. In my honest opinion, the greatest TV series of the 80s and of all time of any other decade. So we're doing that tomorrow. Next week, as I said, we'll start Get Smart, which everybody asked for in the polls that I did last year. So we're starting with season 1, episode 1 and 2. So what we'll do is we'll mention the titles quickly of the 18 ones I'm doing tomorrow and then the ones I'm doing for Get Smart. So let me take a look at that real quick. I'll take a look first here at A Team. Season 3. All right. Yeah, we have at least 1.5 more seasons left according to our information, our background. So, all right. Okay. So tomorrow, the episodes are called Breakout and Cup of Joe. Cool. And those premiered on December 18th, 1984. Then they skipped Christmas. And then they went to January 8th, 1985. So very cool. All right. So that takes care of the A Team for tomorrow. And then, let's see, next week with Get Smart, the TV series. Here it is. Okay. 138 episodes. That should be fun. All right. And of course, the creators Mel Brooks, Buck Henry, and Don Adams as Agent 86, Maxwell Smart of Control, Barbara Feldon as Agent 99, and the late Edward Platt. They're all late people. They're all gone. But Edward Platt, of course, special as Chief. So, and they won 7 Primetime Emmys. That's awesome. Back in the day. And they did last for 5 seasons over 6 years. So, let's take a look here. Okay. So, featuring the wonderful and multi-talented at back then young actor and small person extraordinaire Michael Dunn. He was in season 1, episode 1 called Mr. Big, and it included Max's team included Agent 99 joining the cast, and of course the dog Fang, who is Agent K13. And then season 1, episode 2 uh, is Diplomat's Daughter, and he competes with the Claw. No, the Claw, Mr. Smart. Not the Craw, the Claw. Yeah. So that's going to be next Wednesday at this same Mikey time, same Mikey channel as MikeySuzeFour channel for 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So that will be next Wednesday. Can't wait for that. I'm very excited. Okay. There we go. Alrighty. And as you all folks know, we are doing our next Star Trek Star Wars fan film, this time the Star Wars fan film Vader, The Shards of the Past, Part 1, with our select panel. It will start at 1 p.m. Eastern. I hope to start it on time. If there's any delay, I'll let you folks know. And that has some of our family members that are joining us that are really into fan films like I am. So, very cool. Okay, so before I start there, and before we leave today and shut down, I want to thank Gorilla Censored Thoughts for being here for this finale of the episodes of TGAH. I want to thank Charlotte Nightstar, the werewolf. Ooh, Charlotte, I love working with you on your podcast and on your uh, past podcasts and your past watch parties that we did, and the special one you did for me. So thank you very, very much for all that you do, and keep doing it, honey. Keep at it. FKHC 2005, we also know him as Tim. FKHC has some great content. All three of them do. Gorilla does some great shows. Charlotte has great podcasts, like I said, and watch parties. FKHC has some good content on his channel. Please, when you rewatch this, make sure you go to each channel and make sure you're subscribed to each of their channels. They're fantastic people, good people to know. So make sure you do that. And of course, don't forget us. So, all right. So, Father, Son, and Holy Spirit, dear Lord, thank you for everything we do in this world and everything that we try to do, whether good or bad. You've always loved us unconditionally, and we appreciate that. We always do. Um, whether we're from another religion or if we're from Catholics or Christians, Muslims, Islamic, anything, we are appreciative of our lives every single day. At least we hope we are. And we appreciate the fact that we can help others. We do not want to be selfish dweebs. We want to be people that can get out and about and try to help other people in this world. So, with the help of your beloved Son, Jesus Christ, the Holy Spirit, the Blessed Virgin Mary, and all the angels and saints, as well as our two patron saints, Saint Suzanne and Saint Michael the Archangel, the defender of heaven. Um, we hope that we can get through this life safely. We hope that we can get through it peacefully, and we also hope we can get through it by helping others that need help. Because as Jesus said, "When I was thirsty, you gave me drink. When I was hungry, you gave me food. When I was lonely, you comforted me. When I was in prison, you came to see me," and so on. So let's hope we can all do this for everyone out there in this world. For all this we pray, Lord. Amen and amen. Father, Son, Holy Spirit. Okay. So I am MikeySuzeFour. With me, of course, beautiful Suzanne. Well, she's not here right now, but she'll be back. We have Moonpie Deja Vu, our beautiful cats. And by the way, we are doing I wanted to quickly mention this before we leave. Also, we are doing a special. We're going to do the same thing that we did on March 1st, where, Suzanne and I have known each other for 15 beautiful years now. And we did a single 1v1. So, what we're going to do is another 1v1 on March 20th, time to be determined. That's also the turning of the spring equinox. And that's our oldest fur baby's, birthday, Moon Pie. She's going to turn 8. So, if we can get her on camera, which, as she gets older is a little bit more difficult to do nowadays. But if we can get her on camera, we'll have her say hello to everybody. I'll leave that to Suzanne. I think she can bring her over and say hello and everything with her little paw. Yeah, her front paw. And we'll just do a 1v1 just real quick. People can talk to us in the chat and ask us about questions about Moon Pie, about Deja Vu if you want, because Deja's going to turn 5 on December 1st of this year. Yeah, we have two very beautiful black cats. One is kind of a cross between her breed is a cross between Persian and Abyssinian. She's very thin. And then Deja Vu's is a cross between Persian and Mancoon. Yeah, she's huge, but she's beautiful. We love her regardless. She's a big cat, but we love her. Yeah. And these two like to fight. They're siblings. Let's be honest. But yeah, but I mean, playful fights. They don't try to hurt each other. But they got very sharp claws. So yeah, you have to keep them separated. Gotta keep them separated. Yeah, absolutely. I love throwing in music references from time to time. Warehouse 13. Okay. So, as I always like to say, in the immortal words of Mr. Gene Siskel, who worked for the Chicago Tribune and is up there in heaven with the big guy, Roger Ebert, Gene Siskel, who said, "And now the aisle is closed." So, as my wife likes to say, leave everything in God's hands as the minister of the Universal Life Church and my beloved soulmate. Also, Larry, who says my brother, uh, actual brother, we adopted him. He's officially brother. He has been for almost 50 years. And he says, always be yourself. Great piece of advice. And finally, as I always like to say this year, I adopted a meme for us. I always said, always expect the unexpected, everybody or everyone, either way. And of course, the final thing I always like to say is God bless America. God bless Canada. God bless the entire rest of the world that we live in so fully or crazily or whatever. And finally, peace from MikeySuzeFour. So everyone here in the chat, 3 likes. Thank you. I appreciate that. Doesn't have to be a million likes. If it reaches that, I know it never will, but that's fine. I'm totally cool with it. I'm very flexible. You can ask Suzanne. She knows. I'm a very good guy. So, with all that, take care, everybody. Remember, next week, get smart. We're going to start with that, and I'm so, so happy. And then, of course, tomorrow, we got 2 more episodes of that greatest TV series, drama, action, humor, everything that ever came out, the A Team. So, a pity the fool doesn't watch. So, make sure you come. We'll see you guys later. And thank you guys. And gal.